Hello, everybody. It's Haley. Welcome back to the Basic Behaviorist. I am here to guide you through the 6th edition task list as you're studying for your BCBA exam, which you're totally going to pass. So today we're talking task list item A-01, which is identify the goals of behavior analysis as a science, i.e. description, prediction, and control. Remember, in this podcast, we're not going to be super technical. We're here to just be a basic behaviorist. We're going to put everything in layman's terms so that if you don't have a background in ABA, you understand. Hi, Mom. Thanks for watching. This is for you. Description is the first level of scientific understanding, and it is basically just a collection of facts. It is us defining and describing the target behavior, creating an operational definition so that anyone who looks at the definition would recognize that behavior if they were to see it. It is giving us that baseline and helping us to, in the future, be able to make predictions. But basically, at this point, we're just saying, I know what this behavior looks like. For example, if you had a new individual on your caseload and you were trying to understand their tantrum behavior, you might sit down and ask yourself questions like, how often does this behavior occur? What does it look like? What does it sound like? And you're creating that solid basis to help you be able to make those predictions in the future. Prediction is the second level of scientific understanding, and it occurs when repeated observations reveal that two events consistently covary with each other. Basically, you're saying, I know when this target behavior is going to happen. Prediction indicates that two events tend to occur in the presence of one another, but remember that correlation is not causation. So we're not saying that the behavior happens because of something. We are just saying that when A happens, B typically happens. Remember, with prediction, you have to observe it multiple times. You're observing that contingency on more than one occasion. If you just look at it once, you can't make a solid prediction, and that would not be prediction anyway. That would probably just be description. But with prediction, you are gaining and gathering information about the antecedents and the consequences so that you can create a hypothesis. And you can say, I think that when A happens, B will probably also happen. Or when A happens, B typically happens. I know when this behavior will occur. An example of prediction for you, you have an individual on your caseload who engages in tantrum behavior. I just love that behavior, so I always use it as an example. And when you are collecting data, you notice that each time the individual's iPad is removed, that individual engages in tantrum behavior and the iPad is then returned. After multiple observations, you might say, I think whenever the iPad is removed, this individual will engage in tantrum behavior. And that is your prediction. The highest level of scientific understanding is control. And control has been demonstrated when we show a functional relation. What is a functional relation? Well, a functional relation is a specific change in one event is reliably produced by specific manipulations of another event. Basically, the change in the behavior or the dependent variable is a result of our changes that we've made in implementing the independent variable. So we are manipulating the antecedents, what happened before the behavior, and the consequences, what happens after the behavior. And we're showing that because we're doing those things, the behavior is changing the way that we want it to. We are turning the behavior on and off. So, for example, when you run a functional analysis, you are essentially turning the behavior on and off. You're showing that there's a functional relation. Pop quiz o'clock first. What are the 3 levels of scientific understanding? Description, prediction, and control. Remember, description is I know what this behavior looks like. Prediction is I know when this behavior will occur. And control is I can turn this behavior on and off. What level of scientific understanding is demonstrated in this scenario? Brody is a BCBA. Congrats, Brody. Brody's working with an individual who engages in tantrum behavior. Brody decides to run a functional analysis. During the analysis, the individual does not engage in tantrum behavior during the play, attention, or demand condition. However, Each time the iPad is removed, the individual engages in tantrum behavior. By giving the iPad back, the behavior is consistently terminated. So, what level of scientific understanding is demonstrated? Did you say control? Because during this example, we showed that there was a functional relation. We showed that Brody could turn the behavior on and off during his functional analysis, which is exactly what we're looking for when we're talking about control. We want to show that the dependent variable, the behavior, is only changing because of the independent variable or the intervention, or basically that we can turn that behavior on, we can turn it off. That's what we're doing in an FA. We are just confirming our hypothesis and showing that high rates of behavior occur during a certain condition. Does this definition sound familiar? A level of scientific understanding that occurs when repeated observations reveal that two events consistently covary with each other. That description, prediction, or control. I hope you said prediction. Here are the key words you should know. For description, it is a systematic observation, a collection of facts, quantified, classified, examined for relations. It's knowledge obtained from descriptive studies. For prediction, we are talking about repeated observations, covariation, consistently covary. We're talking correlation, but remember, correlation is not causation. And finally, for control, we're talking functional relation. That's honestly the biggest part, is a functional relation. With control, can't have control without a functional relation.